Yo, did you hear that vaccines actually cause autism?
Really? I thought people were just like being scared of vaccines.
No, there's this website. Look, it says anti-vaccine scientific support personnel. It says vaccines cause autism, and they say that the MMR vaccine will cause autism if you get it.
Wait. Wow, it says that it's the adjuvants that are what cause autism. What the is an adjuvant?
Well, an adjuvant is something that is added to a vaccine in order to boost the body's immune response.
When did you get here? And different adjuvants do different things to boost the immune system response to prevent a future infection.
Well, why don't you follow us and we'll show you what an adjuvant is and what it does.
Okay. Screw this stuff. Well, let's go.
So, some adjuvants act as a delivery system. They create a storage area for antigens close to the site of injection of vaccine.
An example of this type of adjuvant would be a lipid. When creating a vaccine using lipid as an adjuvant, they start out with an aqueous solution and they add surfactant to it. When the lipid comes into contact with the surfactant, it's going to create smaller droplets of that lipid. The purpose of the smaller lipid droplets is to increase the surface area of lipid to vaccine solution. The next step in the creation of the vaccine is to add the viral particles. These will disperse evenly on the surface and inside of the small lipid droplets. The smaller lipid droplets increase the ratio of viral particles that can be introduced into the body's immune system. The vaccine is then loaded and given to a patient. Once the vaccine enters the body, the virus on the outside of the lipid particles will stimulate an immediate immune response. Antibodies produced by your immune system will attach to the antigens that they see on the surface of the lipid. These antibodies will then present them to macrophages. The macrophage will then break down the entire lipid droplet. The antibodies will still be attached to the antigen of the viral particles that were present on the surface of the lipid droplet. However, the viral particles that were contained and hidden from the immune system on the inside of the lipid droplet will stimulate a new immune response.
What is an antigen?
So an antigen is something that causes the immune response of the body. It stimulates the body to produce antibodies. An example would be toxins, bacteria, viruses, anything foreign to the body that it recognizes as a threat it would want to eliminate.
Antibodies? Yeah, they are the fighters of the immune system. They seek out and find the foreign particle, the antigen, and then they attach to it. And it tells your immune system that it found something harmful and that you need to eliminate it.
Other adjuvants work on the innate immune system. They target special cells called antigen-presenting cells, also known as APC cells. These cells signal a series of pathways involved with your body's immunity and ultimately help your adaptive immune system. Your adaptive immunity is what creates your special forces.
An example of this type of adjuvant would be aluminum. They add aluminum and viral antigen into a vaccine to be given to patients. Already present inside of your body are specialized immune cells called B cells. Once the vaccine is given, the aluminum present will stimulate the production of more B cells. The combined presence of the aluminum and the viral antigen will stimulate these B cells to produce your special forces cells. These will recognize this particular viral antigen if it ever comes into contact with your immune system again.
This is why if you get chickenpox once, you don't get it again, because you have memory cells stored in your body that are specialized to the chickenpox virus, and it will know how to fight the body before it can start the infection.
Wait, I thought we had one immune system. So how does this all even work? So the immune response has different stages that will begin responding once it detects something foreign. And in the case of the vaccine, it will detect an inactivated or non-harmful form of the virus. The first step is the chemical and physical barriers. Things like your skin or the mucus layers that line your internal organs protect you from bacteria and viruses. If a pathogen gets past your physical barriers, they'll then come into contact with your intrinsic immunity. This refers to the immunity that is always present in your cells. Things that when the cell undergoes a period of stress, such as becoming infected, it can defend itself. This includes things like apoptosis, autophagy, and some even have antiviral proteins to fight off the virus. If a pathogen gets past this stage, it will trigger an innate immune response. This is where your body uses the generic defense mechanism to try and fight off the infection. Innate immunity will provide an immediate defense, but it will not work in the long-term infection, which is where the adaptive immunity comes into play. This is where, like my fellow scientist said, your body develops its special forces cells that are designed to respond to and kill a specific pathogen. These give you long-term immunity against a specific pathogen and is the target for most vaccines.
Wait, so you're telling me I only have one immune system with two different parts and the vaccine only works on one part?
Yes and no. The vaccine has an inactivated portion of the virus. This is given to you in a mixture of preservatives, adjuvants, stabilizers, and antibiotics in order to have the immune system recognize it to begin building a response. Your different immune cells, B cells, and T cells will be activated to respond once this vaccine is administered.
So because the virus is already inactive, the immune response will take care of it in no time, and the individual will hardly ever know that they had any form of the infection in the first place. The immune system will make a memory cell out of it, and that is what we really want out of this, which will be stored and circulating in the body for later. So if the individual ever comes into contact with this virus or pathogen, the memory cell will respond to it and will trigger the secondary immune response, which is stronger and faster than the primary, and it's better at the infection.
So then what about these adjuvants is going to cause autism?
You got it all wrong. The adjuvants are there to enhance your body's immune response and to increase its affinity to the antibody or the virus present in the vaccine. They help your body fight off the infection faster so that if you come into contact with the real virus, you won't get sick. But wait, what about aluminum, mercury, and the other toxins? How could they not cause autism?
Well, first of all, they don't use mercury in vaccines. They use what's called thimerosal, which is an antifungal and antiseptic, meaning it prevents fungus and bacteria from growing in its presence. It's a mercury-containing compound. It is used in some vaccines as a preservative. Thimerosal has not been used in children's vaccines since 2001. While it is still used in some vaccines for adults, there is a vaccine option that doesn't contain it, and if you're really that worried about it, you can ask for that option. As for the aluminum, they use aluminum salts in vaccines. These are the most commonly used adjuvants because they work very well in helping build immunity to a pathogen. And lastly, your fear of toxins. This is actually referring to the aluminum, thimerosal, and formaldehyde present in some vaccines. I just explained the roles of aluminum and thimerosal, but the quantity of them in a vaccine is way below toxic threshold. They won't harm your body in any way. And as for the formaldehyde, that is something that our body produces naturally. Formaldehyde is essential for DNA and protein synthesis, and it's only used in some vaccines to inactivate the antigens being used, and is only present in low quantities. So none of these things will actually cause autism.
I got vaccinated. I'm good. Some adjuvants act like a Alright.
For the paragraphs. Woo. Smart me is coming in for the kill.
I need a cup of coffee. We're so apart.
That way we don't have to stop.
Okay.
Okay. Two.
This is where, which is where the adaptive immunity comes into play. No. In response has different stages that will start,
Because I gave you like a weird face, Mom.
which is where the yes and no. Do it again. I forgot it was the next part too. Okay. Okay. I'm good. Okay. Oh, a video. Get out of our virology video.
Yeah, no, you really my video.
Was it this way first, or was it this way?
That way.
It was that way?
Yeah.
Alright, let me get smart.
Get smart. An individual. They help your body fight off the infection. Jesus Christ.
Come here, video. Come here.
I don't know what that is.
Oh my god, that was terrible. Oh my god, it's just water. Was that way?
I think so.
Okay. Can you see me?
Let me transform into smart Alexis.
You almost ate it.
Your fear of other toxins, which is actually referring to all of them.